picks up almost 5 yards. Leading the tackle is going to be Eric White, number 15 for the Lancers. He's a returner, 5 foot 10 inches at 166 pounds and only a junior. So the Bulldogs right back in business.
Yeah, Patton's done a nice job with the ball. Again, they're doing a nice job of spreading the ball around. Patton's had 8 carries. Wells has had 6 carries. Then you've had Hatfield and Groom with 3 and 4.
Quick hitter, they go Patton. He may break it. Inside the 10, down to the 9. Oh, this time they ran with an off-tackle quick hit. Let's see if we can watch this one again. Watch the execution. It goes to the right side of the center this time. That was not an easy handoff.
No, it wasn't.
Coming in and making the tackle for Lakewood, number 5, Zach McKinney, saved the touchdown, and the Bulldogs are at first, well, I guess it's the 15, 14-yard line. It's 1st and 10. I thought they were a little closer than that. Sorry about that.
Pick up a 17.
Flags on the play. The play is going to be blown dead.
Offsides against Lakewood.
I'd love to have been in either locker room at halftime to hear what these coaches would have been clinicians telling their teams what to do.
Again, and I'll tell you what, you know, I still say that overall the Heath has dominated the line of scrimmage, really on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Again, they've gotten themselves more and more trouble with turnovers than anything.
1st and 5 for the Dogs. Wells over center. Hatfield with the football. Oh, good pursuit. He gets through somehow and gets inside the 5.
Be a 1st down.
Oh, my. There was not a seam for him to cut through, but Hatfield somehow found the gap. And watch this again.
Watch this. He just lowers his head. It looks like to me when he went in there's no way he's going to come out. And here he comes out, picks up, takes it inside the 5 to the 4, 1st down.
Someone put a nice block on Debevoise to keep him away from the action, but still, at the line of scrimmage, the Lakewood right side of the line had contained, and they are going to measure for a 1st down for Heath, as you see the chain indicating good enough, 1st and goal Dogs. But the cutback and the timing and everything had to be just right. That's something he had to sense. I don't think that's something you learn. That's just something you feel. And boy, he brought that back against the grain and found that little bit of an opening and picks up the 1st down. And Heath is knocking on the door themselves with their first possession in the second half. Offensively, these two coaches really had their kids listening at halftime. Patton hit and will be dropped at the 2. Making the tackle for Lakewood, big number 69, Jonathan Glode. He is about 5'8", about 185. Not the biggest on the field, but that hit was solid right between the numbers.
That'll bring up 2nd down goal from about the 1-yard line.
Wilson comes out and Hatfield goes in. We're running wide to the left. Outside of Miller will be number 15, Adam Leogrand again. I've seen Heath go with the full robust tee in this situation. They go with the quick hitter. Patton, does he bull his way in? Wait for the signals, and they'll say not quite. So it's going to be 3rd down and very close. 3rd down, you could probably measure this one with the palm of your hand.
Yeah. Any kind of surge whatsoever from the offensive line, and you can ring up 6.
You hear the fans responding for the cheerleaders down below for Heath. Coming over center for the Dogs, number 65. That's going to be
Wells on the keeper.
Glazer.
He takes it in for the touchdown.
And we're waiting for a signal. We haven't seen it yet. There it is. Give that referee an Academy Award as he wanted to milk the crowd for everything it was worth. As the Bulldogs score on a lengthy drive of over 60 yards. Here we'll see the replay. Watch the line surge. Watch look at that hitting.
I mean, there's no close.
There's even a helmet come bouncing off one of the Heath players. So now the all-important extra point will be towed up, and getting ready to do the kicking again for Heath has been Foreman. We're talking a one-point ball game here, 3:59 to go, 3rd quarter of play. These, needless to say, are very important, even though they're only 1 point. It's long enough.
No good.
But it's not good.
Right.
Wide to the near side. And so the score remains Lakewood Lancers leading the Heath Bulldogs 21-20. You know, isn't it amazing when you look at all the execution that went into a drive for 60-plus yards, 11 players working in sync, and then it all comes down to an extra point. And this could be a major break in the game.
It was a good snap, good hold. Not sure I saw what happened other than it just was wide right.
But then if kickers, 3:59 to go here in the third quarter of play, and both teams came out of the locker room in the second half and have taken their first possessions the length of the field. Very, very well executed drives by both teams. And we are seeing quality football for the first game of the season, especially. This is just really impressive. As you see the fans standing for Heath in appreciation, and the fans across the way from Lakewood, I mean, they're all over that hillside right now. I think some of them are getting out of the bleachers and going and enjoying the view in the grass. But, you know, just what a great crowd here tonight, a good facility, and a great ball game. What a way to start the season. And Tim and crew will be, Tim Powell will be watching the kickoff of the season from Newark Catholic against the Philo Electrics. That game Saturday at White Field, Saturday evening. The replay Sunday on Adelphia Cable 5. Hatfield ready to kick off. Dogs trail by a point. And this time it's going to be a loose ball picked up at the 5. By Neller. He's running laterally to the far side of the field, and Seth Wilson and crew will bring him down.
Just outside the 10 at about the 11. Tell you what, he ran a long way to get nowhere.
Now let's watch this again. That was a pretty good kickoff.
It was a good kickoff, and what happened is, look how far Neller, the return was on the other side, and Neller's got to run 50 yards just to try to get to his interference, and by then it's all broke down. First and 10 for Lakewood from the 13-yard line.
That time, like you said, you had a right return set up, and the ball went left. One man in the backfield, quick hitter, yep. And not getting too far, I believe it's Atkins again.
Number 36.
Randall Atkins. He's run the ball several times this evening and really been bruising. He seems to be the one that gets the run right between the tackles, and that's got to hurt by the end of the day. Conditioning, both of these teams really have worked hard at it.
Yeah, and they've been fortunate, although I think some of the coaches have had some concern that there hasn't really been the heat and humidity that these kids normally expect and the coaches expect during two-a-days.
I'm very happy we don't have it tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Beautiful night.
Evan Green, the deep man, about 8 yards back. McKinney looking to throw.
He's got
his man. Oh, my. Guess who? Neller again.
You know, again, it was just the same problem with the one he missed with him earlier. Just not putting enough air under that ball. He's throwing the ball just a little bit too flat and not giving Neller a chance to use his speed and get under it. I think you can bet on seeing that play again before too terribly long also.
If you recall, the last time that misconnection occurred, they dialed in one other play and went right back to it.
Yeah, they need to pick a first down at
3rd and 9. Yeah. So if they're going to rerun it, now's the time. Yeah. This time we've got Boffman and Neller wide to the right. Everybody's tight on the left. Down to 3 minutes and a very fast third quarter, and we've got a bust at the line.
Yeah, all of a sudden Lakewood 31 into Green went into the motion, and he started jumping all over the place. So we'll see if they were drawn off.
Boy, I tell you, they are going to call offsides on Heath, so it will be a big break for the Lancers, bringing up a 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 9. It also moves them a little further away from the goal line. I can remember some opening nights in football seasons where every other play seemed to have an offsides or a procedure, especially the procedure penalties. And I haven't even thought about that yet. We haven't had a single illegal motion or procedure penalty, and look at the offenses that are being run tonight.
These kids have shown tremendous discipline. The coaches and the players both are to be really congratulated on the fine job they've done.
Edwards in the backfield for the Lancers. Neller in motion. Straight drop back. Fires the ball and making the reception short of the 30. That is going to be number 30, Evan Green. That will be a first down. And here's the replay. You get to watch Nuller go in motion. Green will be right there on your right-hand side as he breaks away.
Going down, throws underneath, makes a nice play right between the two defenders for Heath. And with that, Heath calls a timeout to talk this one over.
Matt Sorg in on the tackle. 2:54 the time remaining here in the third quarter of play. 21-20 the Lancers over the Bulldogs. We'll take this Adelphia Cable 5 timeout.
To keep cool, elephants flap their ears and spray themselves with water. Fortunately, you don't have to resort to such primitive methods. Armstrong air conditioners are built tough to keep your house cool and comfortable inside, even if it feels like a jungle outside. Armstrong Air. Strength you can rely on.
Yeah. Houston Plumbing and Heating, serving the Licking County area for over 35 years.
The faithful are here from Heath, and across the way they're also here from Lakewood as we get ready to go back to action on the field after the timeout. Lancers with the ball, 1st and 10 here, and a 1-point lead. We've got an end around. This is Neller, and Sorg leads the defensive contingent that busts this play wide open. And
just too much pursuit on behalf of the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Also coming in on the hit would be Craig Wells and Seth Wilson. So the big hit, Matt Sorg, even though he doesn't make the tackle, he stops this play from being successful. He took a block in the back, but was able to still get his hands on the quarterback or on the Neller who was running the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I tell you again, we saw a number of plays really on both the defenses where the defensive turned them in and the pursuit is caught up with them and brought the running back down.
Once again, the Bulldogs 3-4 defense, they've still got about 7 men in the box at the line of scrimmage. And here we go with another hitter up the middle for a first down, the Lakewood Lancers.
Number 35, Mark Edwards.
Edwards picks up 10 on the play. You'll get to watch this quick hitter. He's the one man in the backfield. As you see Green in motion, there he goes.
And he picks up a first down.
Whoa. The officials missed a clip on that one as Edwards ran right into the back of the lineman, or the line judge for the men in stripes. And that may have slowed him up just enough to get the play broken, but it was a first down at the 41-yard line. Lakewood 1st and 10. Green in motion. Hatfield, 3 receivers to the right. Pressure from the Bulldogs. They've got him contained, and I believe we have our first sack of the season.
It's a loss of about 7.
And you'll get a chance to watch the Bulldog defense.
Kelly coming from the backside, just good pursuit. The boxing men never really give him any room to go, and Kelly gets him from the backside.
You can announce Kelly all you want. That was a team tackle that time.
You're right.
Containment sack by the defensive secondary, but they had 4 men that had broken through the line of scrimmage and came in and made the hit. So it's now 2nd, and I'm going to call it about 16. Lakewood, the ball is at the 35. Quick hitter, probably Atkins or 35 Edwards. And this will be Edwards.
I tell you, 88 Nate Miller just reaches out and sticks a hand out there and trips him up. Pickup of about 5.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 11. You got to be thinking in the back of your mind that pass play to Neller again.
You're right. I would not let number 12 get behind me.
And it's amazing because when you watch him, he doesn't look like he's a speedster.
No, I would agree with you.
He runs his patterns very well. He's on the right side.
Here he comes. He's open. He's behind him in the middle, but
he can't throw him across the field that way. Running with the ball, McKinney gets a great block and turns the corner and gets down inside the Heath 40 at the 37-yard line is where he's finally brought down. Has some congratulations going on. Edwards and 73 for Lakewood. That's going to be Blake Wolfinger, 300-pounder. Really threw the block as you can see the tail end of the replay there.
Pickup of about 20 yards, and I'll tell you what, he did a nice job. Got a couple blocks, and I'll tell you, we've got Heath. Coach Willoughby is just fit to be tied. He's got their 2nd time out.
It's interesting on that play. You were right as Neller got open on the right side, but with the motion being to our near side or the left side of the field, there was no way he could see, let alone throw back that far away. So the defense, did their job, but what a great effort and some good open field blocking by the Lancers.
Here I got so excited I missed the end of the third quarter. It was not a timeout by Heath. We've got the quarter break here.
We are at the end of the third quarter of play. 21-20 remains the score. The Lakewood Lancers lead Heath's Bulldogs from Swankfield. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action after this Adelphia Cable 5 timeout.
There aren't many places around where you can be greeted by the same family owners that have been bringing you the finest in dining experience for over 77 years. The Athan family and its fine staff welcome you to the Natoma restaurant, best known for their unbeatable service and outstanding quality food. Enjoy daily lunch and dinner specials with award-winning garlic bread and sumptuous desserts. Come to the Natoma in downtown Newark for a most enjoyable dining experience.
We're always here to ensure that you leave satisfied.
The Lancers moving to our right as we start the fourth and final quarter of action in tonight's game, leading by a point, 1st and 10. Here we go with that pass to Neller, and we've got all kinds of contact.
Yeah,
and
I think they're going to call interference on Hatfield for riding him out. He really wasn't making any effort to go to the ball.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. It's been too long since I've been in high school. I don't think that ball was catchable. So, but they're saying it's against Lakewood.
Be darned.
They're saying, because if you notice Hatfield had the inside position, I think they're saying that he was pulled down. Which kind of, it was interesting because Hatfield had the better position that time on Neller. He was covered like a glove. But apparently he was pulled down. And it's going to be a loss of down and the 15-yard march off. So suddenly fates have turned ugly for Lakewood. They have the ball now at their own 45-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 25. No, 2nd and 25 because of the loss of down. They haven't changed the marker yet.
They haven't done on the scoreboard or the marker yet either.
There we've got the Heath coach and one of the officials indicating to the lineman across the way it should be a 2nd down, but they'll get that changed eventually. Here we come, pass to the near side. Good pressure by the Miller and the rest of the Bulldogs, and that one's thrown away. Oh my, the cheerleader that was closest to the ball never saw it coming. She'll be talking about that one all week. So the Bulldogs getting some rush, breaking containment, and it's going to bring up now a 3rd and 25 for the Lancers. This is a game of emotion. And taking a look right now in front of us is a player, Hatfield, coming off for Heath. The heat may be getting to him a little bit. He did not want to come out of the lineup as they had to put in a substitution, that being John Hammond, a junior at 5'9", now in as a safety. But they had to make the change. It's Miller trying, tumble, and the Lancers,
just bounced right back up in his hands just in time to get creamed. Again, number 9, Ryan Kelly, number 2, Matt Sorgan on the stop for the Bulldogs for another big loss.
Evan Green was the intended ball carrier on that play. And I don't know if I would have been too happy to have that ball bounce back up in my hands.
Except you get to keep the ball rather than turning it over at that particular point in time.
Yeah, but that could not have felt too good.
No,
he really got roughed down. So the Lancers going back to punt is going to be Neller. And he gets off a high floating kick. Bulldogs will let it go down, and the Lancers will tag it down at the 36-yard line. Pretty good punt by Neller, and the Lancers, things were all lining up their way, and all of a sudden, fates turned on them on 2 plays.
Yeah. Penalties. Penalty really hurt them on the pass play. Really put them in a deep hole with a loss down, 2nd and forever.
But the thing for Lakewood's defense right now is to remember we have the lead. It is the 4th quarter. Our job is to keep the Dogs out of the end zone and out of field goal range. So we'll see what Heath does with their possession. They go with the quick hitter to Patton, and Cody Debevoise wraps them up. But again, it's about a 5-yard pickup as they are just running right up the center of that offensive line, right over the center position, which I believe is Jared Glazer. And we're going to have a replay. Just watch the line play here. Don't focus on the ball carrier. Watch the line.
They just open a hole, push 75 out of the way, and again, he's into the backfield before anybody lays a hand on him.
But Debevoise really did a nice wrap on that play. That was textbook one-on-one tackling. Glazer over center as the center. This is Patton again on the counter hitter this time.
Check that, that's Wilson.
Okay, Seth Wilson. We have a flag on the play. This one is going to be coming back on a holding call. But once again, they went with that little counter. Throws the timing off just a little bit, but we had a hold in the middle of the line, and this play will not count. It's going to back it up 10 and make it 2nd and about 15 for Heath.
Yeah. Again, once again, we've seen a real positive play get turned into a negative with the penalty. I have now Heath with 6 penalties. And again, for the first game of the year, I think they both have played a very, very clean heads-up game.
Sure, but the timing on the penalties is what the coach is going to remember.
Absolutely.
We had that ball down deep, and all of a sudden, the offensive pass interference for Lakewood. Right now, he's saying we had a first down, and that penalty cost us and moved us back to a 2nd and 15. Full house T backfield. They go with a quick hitter, and this time there's not much running room as the Lancer defense led by Debevoise and by number 79 for Lakewood led the charge and made the tackle. That would be John Moody also. So it's going to be a gain of 1, 3rd and 14.
Big John Moody, 6'2", 260 pounds.
Next week, Heath will be at East Knox. I think that's a battle of Bulldogs.
Battle of Bulldogs, absolutely.
Lakewood goes on the road again to Taze Valley down there by Circleville in the Asheville area. Wells back to pass, maybe his first pass in the second half. Under pressure, gets a weak pass away, but Miller grabs it. Nate Miller gets the ball, goes out of bounds, but unfortunately he's 9 yards, make it 8 yards short of a first down. So it's going to be 4th and long for Heath. Probably a punting down as here's the replay.
You're seeing Wells getting some pressure from the front. He gets hit, kind of throws a little bit of a wounded duck out there. Miller makes a nice catch, but Wells short of the first down.
Zach McKinney came in with the defensive stop for the Lancers. So the penalty stops the drive for Heath, and Hatfield will be back to punt. Going back deep for the Lancers.
I think this might be Heath's first punt of the day.
You may be correct. Will be number 12, Neller. Number 15 for Lakewood, that's going to be Eric White. Good snap. And a nice kick. Neller takes it over his shoulder, fumbles the football. It's still loose. Picks it up inside the 10. He's at the 15 and will be brought down at about the 17-yard line by Matt Seward. And Neller, he is down, and there was some twisting going on as he was being brought down, as he was trying to move. That is, ow.
He appears to be in pain.
Let's
take a look at this. This is just an outstanding punt. Nellers has to backtrack, bounces off his shoulder pad, picks it up, and gets just a little bit of breathing room here. But watch when he gets it. He just turns and gets rolled there. And
both players were shaken up on that play. He may have just cramped it. The movement they're showing here, it looks like would be that, a Charlie horse or a cramp.
They're looking at that. I think they're looking at that knee area.
But you wouldn't be bending a leg like that.
No, not like that. It doesn't bend that way.
Yeah, but under these weather conditions, I mean, it is, it was an 85 or 80 degree day today. It's understandable that I was expecting a lot more of this to happen. And that these players that have played both ways.
Working on his calf, it appears.
Yeah. But still, the Lancers, he has been their big offensive threat, both receiving and in some cases running. 9 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Let's take a look at the other games that are going on this evening. The Utica Redskins open the season at home today with fake lights against the Whitehall Rams. Newark's Wildcats are on the road today at Springfield South. Next week you can watch the Wildcats on Adelphia Cable 5 as they will battle the Zanesville Blue Devils in another rivalry game. Newark Catholic on Adelphia Cable 5 will be playing Philo Saturday. Again, you can watch the replay here on Sunday. Licking Valley is at Sheridan in a big battle, and from what we heard at halftime, the Panthers were leading in that game. And the Granville Blue Aces, they are at Johnstown this evening. So there's a look at our area teams here on Adelphia Cable 5. It's going to be an interesting year this year. I was surprised that neither Heath or Lakewood got any kind of real major press in the Columbus Dispatch when talking about their conferences. Both teams could be what you might call sleeping giants. I think that they both have potential to be battling for their league championships.
Yeah, I think members in the Mid-State Cardinals aren't taking Heath the least bit lightly.
Great defensive play by the Bulldogs as Hatfield tries spinning around and there was no place to go. Miller was in there on the tackle. Also was number 60, Matt Norris. And they just really got on top of McKinney before he could do anything. He had no option on that play. It's going to make it 2nd and 14. 8:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. Lakewood does lead by 1 point, but the ball is deep in Lancer territory. No room for error right now.
Yeah. Heath defense would really like to get a takeaway here, I'm sure.
Hatfield is not in the lineup for Heath.
Oh, got some room.
This is Edwards on the races to the near side and up to the 45-yard line. What a nice run. Green with the carry. And
34-yard pickup.
That is just execution by your offensive line. Here's the replay. Watch
Again,
him at work.
Misdirection. Give it. He's coming back to the weak side. He comes through there untouched. He's off to the races.
By putting the man in motion, they took the containment to the left side of the field, back to the right side of the field. And there was nobody over on this side for Heath to stop that play after it got past the line of scrimmage. Great play call, great execution by the Lancers, and they're in good field position now, 1st and 10 at the 46.
And we're back behind the post.
McKinney, quick hitter. Getting about 2 yards on the play will be number 35? 36, Atkins.
Trying to figure out 35 and 36. I've been trying to keep track of carries. I've had those two guys mixed up half the night, I believe.
They look the same in size. They move and handle the football in similar ways. And
in a crowd, it's hard to tell the numbers apart.
Exactly. Number 13 is in for Lakewood, replacing Nuller. That would be Aaron Swaintek. This is 34 in the backfield for them, Frank Dawson. Dawson, no, he is a fake. McKinney keeps the ball, gets across midfield, fumbles the ball, and the Bulldogs have their first turnover. Coming up with the football, number 60, Matt Norris, a junior, returning letterman.
And Matt Norris did a nice job earlier in the defensive stop.
Let's see how McKinney loses this.
McKinney comes through, and he just gets stripped of it. I mean, he just gets turned a little bit. Ball pops free.
Looked like Eddie Hunt got his hands in there and knocked it loose. So Heath trailing by a point, 7:05 the time remaining, in great field position now at their own 44. And we'll see what the Bulldogs have in store. The Lancers moving the ball.
Neller's back out there on defense right now, number 12.
Okay. This is Patton. Off tackle. Nothing fancy there, but it picks up another 5-6 yards. And bending over, holding his legs momentarily was Craig Wells. I wonder if he's beginning to cramp up a little bit. As you see a percussion section and some of the Heath band down below. Let's get 2 parts of trombone into 1 part of trombone. It works a lot better that way. There we go. But the fans down below are fired up. What a great game. What a great crowd tonight. 2nd and 4. Quick hitter again. Patton, he's got a first down and then some. Into the Lancer 40.
Pick up about 9.
Coming off the bottom of the pile was Mike Dawson, number 11, with 2 or 3 other players. And
Patton goes over the century mark. I have him with 15 carries for 104 yards. Nice evening.
Some of these kids that have been going both ways have got to be getting a little tired right now.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right.
Especially the ones that are playing on the interior line, because this has been a very physical game. 24 running with the football, Seth Wilson. And Seth.
He'll pick up about 5.
And the clock is now under 6 minutes.
Tell you what, Coach Willoughby would like to have about a 5-minute and 55-second drive at this point in time.
Only if it amounts in points for him.
You're right.
And right
exactly
now,
right.
Coach Forsyth would just assume let him get 5 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock and not put any points on the board, because then Lakewood would win. This is going to be Patton. And
holding on to it with both hands. He goes in the line. He'll pick up about one.
you know, this isn't that basically how Patton handled Italy during World War II and France and everything else, 1 yard at a time, one step at a time. I don't think this Patton has a dog or a tank named after him, though. But he will have some believers on the Heath side of the field after this ball game tonight. Coming out on the near side for Heath is going to be, now we'll pick him up in a second. 15 is Leo Grand. Keeper, Wells in trouble. Oh, nice move in the backfield.
I think that was a broken play. I think Wells turned around and whatever he was there, he's going to get somebody's face here.
Let's watch this replay, because this is
look. He turns and whoever's supposed to be there isn't.
Oh, you know who was there? It was number 89 for the Lakewood Lancers, John Laughlin, Jr. at 5'9", 173. But Heath's going to talk about this. 4th down, 8 is the situation. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the game. We'll take an Adelphia Cable 5 timeout.
We're all set. Internet banking has come to Park National.
Now our customers can handle their personal banking from their home computer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Just click here to bank.
www.parknationalbank.com.
We did it!
I just love sharing my 43 years of banking experience with these bright young kids and helping them however I can.
Mr. Nethers, we have to work late. Could you go get some pizza?
Just click here to bank.
Park National Bank.
We've had many big plays in this ball game, but that play by John Laughlin breaking through the line of scrimmage may have been the biggest, because it sets Heath now with a 4th down and 8, 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. It's conceivable with Lakewood, if they put a drive together, can run the clock out.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs, realizing this, are going for it.
Absolutely. At the 38-yard line of the Lancers.
Sword in motion. We've got double receivers to the right side. Wells in trouble. He's going to run with it. He's going to have the 1st down, I do believe.
I tell you what, a couple tackles got missed on him, and he got 1st down.
Let's watch this again. I hope we have the replay, because this was just a great effort by the quarterback.
Yeah. He's under pressure, and again, what a difference a year makes in this young man. He just steps up in there. Here's a big missed tackle coming up right there.
Arm tackle.
Yes.
That's a tired player.
It's an ooh-la tackle.
They won't watch that one on the film. So the Bulldogs keep the drive alive with 4 minutes now and the clock rolling, trailing by 1 point. Patton to the left side, and Cody Debevoise says not this time, and he rides him down for about a 2-yard, maybe a 3-yard gain,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not the usual 5. Listen to the fans and the band down below for Heath.
We come down on the 3.5 minute mark remaining to be played in this game.
Heath has 2 timeouts, I believe, remaining in the game.
Ball on the Lancer 25-yard line.
Miller is not a tight end. This time he's back as the slot man. Patton up the middle. Oh, that was a big tackle coming in for Lakewood. Number 69, Jonathan Gloyd, may have saved the touchdown.
Yeah, I believe that pickup of about 9.
And we've got a whistle, 1st down indicated, so that's going to stop the clock. 3:07 the time remaining. What a great, that'll start the clock again as everything gets set up. So it is a 1st down for Heath. As we pointed out before, Ben Foreman has a strong leg. He just wasn't accurate on 1 extra point. You know, field goal opportunities may present themselves. We're down to 2:50. Clock is running. Will Heath keep it on the ground? We'll see. Wells over center. They go to the 2nd man. That's going to be running with the football. Hatfield, he's down and staying in bounds at about the 20-yard line. That's going to make it a 3rd and 6. Here's a replay.
They can just hand it to Hatfield. Hatfield comes out, has a little bit of running room. Nice open field tackle by the Lancer. Didn't get his number.
2:20, clock is running. The ball is at the 19-yard line for the Bulldogs. 22-14 was the final last year, Heath over Lakewood. This one's been even better. Up the middle, short hit, and that's going to be Patton, and he drives toward the center of the goalpost. I wonder if they're setting up a 3 opportunity. It's going to be now a 4th down, I believe. 3rd down, okay. A minute 52. 3rd and, I'm going to call it 5. The ball is inside the 20, close to the 16, maybe the 17. Minute 41. There they go to Patton. He breaks it back to the left-hand side, gets it on the left hash marks at about the 11-yard line, maybe the 12. It's going to be 4th and call it a long 1. A minute 20. Clock is running. Take it back. It's at the 7. Thank you, Frank. And there's going to be a whistle. Someone's going to call a timeout, and it's going to be Heath. Let's set this up. As you just saw the story on the scoreboard, it's going to be 1 yard to go at the 7-yard line, a minute 12 to go in the game. You've made 2 of 3 extra points, and this is just 5 yards longer than an extra point. Which way do you play it?
You know, I'll tell you what, I mean, not knowing the consistency of Ben Foreman, but the fact that he missed an extra point, I think I've got to go for the 1st down here.
Of course, being this deep, as you see the fans here really enjoying the action, and also seeing the names of some of our sponsors floating by there. Boy, that worked out well. But you're at the 7-yard line. There isn't a lot of pass patterns you can run. I mean, you know, you don't have 20 to 30 yards downfield to spread the defense out.
Yeah.
So no matter what you're going to have to do, you're going to have a tremendous surge from the offensive line. And, of course, the Lancers defensive line, who has done a great job tonight, is going to be, you know, really, really on top of things as far as that goes.
You know, that quick handoff to Patton has been very effective. But I'll tell you what, I've got Craig Wells at 6'3", 175 under center. You know, I just get it up under the center and say, hey, just give me a couple inches and we'll push it across.
This may be for the ball game. And, of course, you've got Hatfield over there on the right wing, who is capable of running with the football, as we have seen. Kroom is not in there. There goes Patton. He is trying to get to the left side. Fumble! And it's recovered by Lakewood unless they blow the play dead. We'll have to wait and see. No, it was a fumble.
They call that a fumble. Wow. Wow.
Obviously, we'll be waiting for the replay, but guess who recovers the ball?
Nellen. What a fine ball game that young man had. I'll tell you what, the only thing Kevin Patton is guilty of is just trying. And he was trying to reach out to get the ball across for the 1st down, and I'm not sure whether he had it or not at that point.
I couldn't tell, but there was a tremendous push by the Lakewood defense stuffing the left side of the Heath offensive line. And somebody on the defense reached around and stripped that ball away from Hatfield. Great team execution. They Lancers really hunkered down on that play, and you can't say enough about it. They stopped the play, contained it, then they knocked the ball loose and recover it, and with a minute 5 to go, barring something extremely unusual, the Lancers should walk away with a victory by 1 point. As we see them running up the middle, that's going to be number 36, as usual, running with the football on the off-tackle play, Randall Adkins. And it's not the yardage that he's picking up now, though he did pick up about 3. It's the fact that he's taken the clock under a minute, 48 seconds, and rolling. Heath is acting as though they're out of timeouts. They may only have 1 left, or they may have used them all. But regardless, the Lancers going to run 1 more play, and then they're going to walk away on the first leg of their tour of visiting facilities for the first half of the season with a victory. We've got a delay of game penalty now going against the Lancers, which will back them up 5, but only 28 seconds to go.
And that 5-yard penalty is the least of their worries. Tell you what, there's a couple lonely people feeling pretty lonely out there right now, and obviously the one is the extra point. That's tough.
But that wasn't the whole story
No,
in
it
this
wasn't.
ball game.
You know, and that's what you got to keep telling yourself, that one play does not make or break a ball game. And
The person that's going to be down after this ball game and second guessing himself is going to be the head coach, I think. And that's because he makes the big bucks being the head coach, as we now have 17 seconds and the clock winding down and Heath helpless. This has been a great first game of the season. This has been a very emotional but an extremely well-played and well-executed ball game. There were some mistakes. There were some individual breakdowns. But 98% of this game was efficiency. And both coaches should walk away from this thing very, very pleased with the outcome. As you see what this game means for the Lakewood Lancers in this rivalry and the dejection on the Heath side. And the Heath players are going right in there to congratulate them, which is great to see, because that's what we want to see in this game. We want to see closeness. We want to see two teams giving 150% and let the chips fall where they may. And tonight they fell for the Lakewood Lancers. The final score, 21-20, Lakewood over Heath. We'll be back with more after this Adelphia Cable 5 timeout.
It doesn't make any difference what time of day it is. If you're hungry, your friends at your local Duke and Duchess shop can help you. In the morning, we have sausages on a bun and our breakfast sandwiches on a biscuit or a croissant. Our donuts are fresh, big, and delicious. For lunch, we offer a deli full of delicious sandwiches just the right size for every appetite. We always have a special in our soft drink department. Our chip aisle is full, too. If you want a late-night ice cream snack, we feature Velvet and Nestle novelties, pints, and half gallons. Remember, we're always open, so visit your local Duke and Duchess shop.
As you see the two teams huddling up in their respective groups, one team listening to a coach very intently. Well, actually, both teams are, but one's doing a lot of cheering and the other one's just feeling the emotion on the downside right now. As the final score once again from Swank Field, 21-20, Lakewood over Heath this evening. Again, you can sit back and, we had some turnovers, we had some penalties, but realistically, when you look at the picture of this ball game, we had two very open offenses, throwing a lot of different plays and a lot of different opportunities out, and two defenses that played very well tonight.
Well, I think both of these coaches can really be very pleased with the effort put forth by their young men. Certainly Lakewood gets one in the win column, and certainly something to build on. But I'll tell you for one thing, we're going to hear an awful lot out of this Heath Bulldog team as this season progresses. And I'll tell you what, I think they have every chance in the world of being a contender in that Mid-State League Cardinal. You've got Fisher Catholic, who's anticipated to be somewhat strong in that division. Some people are saying Granville might be. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't pick against Heath at this stage. I was very impressed with the job they did. They've got a good balance in terms of being able to run the ball and throw the ball, although they really didn't put the ball in the air. I only had Wells with one completion in the second half. But, hey, the running game was working for him. You look at Seth Patton. I had Seth Patton with 123 yards and 20 carries, and at halftime I had him with 36 yards. So, I mean, I can certainly understand why they weren't putting the ball in the air. The running game was working and working well. Again, an untimely turnover just kill you every time. But I certainly don't want to focus on that because there was just too many positives and too many good things put on by all the young men on both of these teams. That's really what we ought to focus on and say, hey, thank you for a great game. What a way to open the 2000 football season. Lakewood coming out on top, 21-20. And, hey, I'm just looking forward to week 2.
Why don't you run down the scoring for us, Frank, and recap? It was interesting. Every time Lakewood got the ball into the end zone, Heath just came right back within seconds and had a touchdown on the board. And that's just the way that went tonight.
Lakewood opened the scoring at 8:19 of the first quarter with a 12-yard TD run. The extra point was good. Heath comes back and scores on a 52-yard run by Groom at 7:55, just 24 seconds later, to tie the ball game up at 7 as we ended the first quarter. In the second quarter, Lakewood scored on a 10-yard TD run by McKinney. Extra point was good. That came at 5:04 in the second quarter. And guess what? Heath answered with a 27-yard TD run by Hatfield. The extra point was good. That came with 2:24 in the second quarter. So then in the third quarter, we get Lakewood going out on top with a 1-yard run by Debevoise. The extra point was good. That coming at 7:42 in the third quarter. And Heath again answered with a 1-yard TD run by Wells. But the extra point was wide right. This came at 3:59 in the third quarter. And that wound up the scoring with the Lakewood Lancers 21, the Heath Bulldogs 20. And as you mentioned, next week, Heath travels to East Knox in the Battle of the Dogs, while Lakewood travels to Tays Valley to move their season along.
And on Adelphia Cable 5, Sunday we'll be bringing you the replay of Newark Catholic opening the season and hosting the Philo Electrics. Next week on Cable 5, we'll have another rivalry as Zanesville comes to Newark to battle the Wildcats. And on Saturday, Amanda Clear Creek, the defending state champions in Division 4, will be coming to Whitefield to battle Newark Catholic. So we hope next weekend you also go out and support your local high school teams. And for Frank McManus and our technical crew, my name is Ed Jobs. We thank you for watching the action on Adelphia Cable 5. And the final score, once again, Lakewood 21 and Heath 20. Have a good day, everyone.
Good day.
You've been watching high school football on Cable 5, brought to you by the Park National Bank, Englefield Oil, and your Duke.